Hello, pop music fan. Welcome back. Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso. It was everywhere in 2024, and it's stuck in basically everyone's head whether they like it or not. But here's the thing. This song is packed with English expressions, slang, and wordplay that even confuses native speakers sometimes. So today, I'm going to walk you through the key phrases and expressions in it, explain what they actually mean, and show you how you can use them in real life. Let's start with the most famous line in the entire song, the one that became a huge meme online because people genuinely couldn't agree on what it meant grammatically. The basic idea is simple. The singer is comparing herself to an espresso. Why? Because espresso is strong, it's intense, and most importantly, it keeps you awake. So she's saying that she has the same effect on someone romantically. He can't stop thinking about her, he can't sleep, he's wired, that is, filled with nervous energy, just like he drank a shot of espresso. Now, the grammar of that phrase is intentionally a little strange. It seems no one can agree on whether this sentence is, "That's that me espresso," with a comma, or simply, "That's that me espresso." Personally, I think it's the second one. Sabrina seems to be referring to her own personality or presence as having the same effect as espresso. So we could see it as Sabrina Espresso. How can we use this phrase in real life? If a friend tells you that you're fun to hang out with, you could jokingly reply, "That's that me espresso," or "That's that me effect," using that same playful structure to express identity or mood in a funny, exaggerated way. In the first verse, she sings about not being able to relate to desperation and that her, let's say, cares are on vacation. Let's break down relate to first. When you relate to something, it means you understand it personally, usually because you've experienced something similar yourself. For example, I can't relate to people who don't like pizza, meaning I don't understand that feeling at all because I love pizza. So when she says she can't relate to desperation, she's saying, I don't know what it feels like to be desperate for someone's attention. Basically, I'm way too confident for that. And then the second part, saying your give-a-care is on vacation, is a funny, informal way to say, I don't care at all right now. Putting a feeling on vacation is a creative way of saying that feeling has temporarily disappeared. You could say, my motivation is on vacation today, to mean, I have zero motivation today. Honestly, my patience is on vacation this week. A fun, casual way to say you're extra impatient lately. This whole song is built on drink-related metaphors. First, she compares herself to a popular caffeinated soda, basically saying she gives someone energy, the same buzz you'd get from a sugary, caffeinated drink. This is a great example of using a brand name as an adjective or verb in casual English, something English speakers do all the time. Think of phrases like, Google it, using a brand as a verb, or I Ubered home, also a brand-turned-verb. In the song, she actually turns the Mountain Dew soda brand into a verb to mean, I gave you that buzz/energy. Then there's the coffee metaphor. She talks about brewing something for someone. To brew coffee means to make it by combining hot water with coffee grounds. But metaphorically, when someone says they brewed something for you, like an idea, a plan, or in this case, herself as a feeling, it means they prepared it carefully, with intention. And finally, there's a phrase about making something feel brand new. If something feels brand new, it feels fresh, exciting, like nothing else compares to it. I got a brand new phone. It just means completely fresh and exciting. That trip totally brand newed my perspective on life. This next part is one of the most fun lines for visual learners because it's literally describing movement, and it's also a reference to video games. Move it up, down, left, right is describing dance movement, or maybe something a little bit more naughty since Sabrina is known for some racy references in her songs. But it also mirrors the directional buttons on a game controller, up, down, left, right, which sets up the next line perfectly. She then references switching it up like Nintendo, referring to the Nintendo Switch, a really popular gaming console. The phrasal verb here, switch up, is super useful. To switch something up means to change it, replace it, or do something differently than before. For example, I switched up my morning routine means I changed my morning routine. So in the song, there's a clever double meaning. It's both a reference to the Nintendo Switch, the console, and the idea of changing things up romantically to keep the relationship interesting. I think I'm going to switch up my hairstyle this summer. Toward the end of the song, there's a line where she describes him looking adorable while being completely under her control, wrapped around her finger, so to speak. This means having complete control over someone. They'll do absolutely anything you want, often without even realizing how much influence you have over them. You'll often hear it used about relationships, like a child who has a parent wrapped around their finger, getting whatever they want. Or, in this case, she's got him wrapped around her finger. He agrees with everything she says. And right before that, there's also a reference to having a twisted sense of humor. As a literal verb, twist means to turn or bend something, like twisting a cap off a bottle. But as an adjective, twisted describes something strange, dark, or unusual, often used to describe humor or a personality that's a little chaotic or messed up in an intriguing way. For example, that movie had such a twisted plot means the storyline was dark, strange, and unexpected. If you're a fan of Sabrina Carpenter, you know her sense of humor can be quite shocking. Don't use your twisted sense of humor around my grandma. She won't get it. So there you have it. Espresso is about a woman who is so attractive and confident that she has the same energizing effect as coffee. The men in her life miss her when she's not there, but she doesn't miss them. She's too busy having fun. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with more song lyrics.